The Columbia Workshop presents Rendezvous with Kit Carson by Elaine Ryan. Around the campfires of the Old West, the stories most often on men's lips concern Kit Carson. How he could kill a buffalo from the back of a galloping horse at 300 yards. How Kit Carson wrestled with a grizzly bear. How Kit Carson killed a mountain lion with his hunting knife. Tales of the beaver he trapped, the trails he broke, and the men he befriended. But this tale begins in the later days of Kit Carson, when his years were on the wane, and he was ill and bedridden.
Old Wild Loon crying like he used to on the trail. It's raining the beat hack, too. Gonna be wet summer.
Talking to yourself, Kit?
I reckon, Spavo, I got left to talk to, Doc.
Yeah, just a minute while I stir up the fire. Yeah, it's a miserable night.
Yeah, it's been a miserable day. How much longer you reckon I gotta lay here?
Now, don't start that again, Kit. Here. Let me fix your pillows. There. Comfortable now? I have your dinner.
Well, what you brung me tonight?
A nice hot gruel, Kit.
You didn't. Not again.
Now, Kit.
Didn't I tell you that I wouldn't eat no more of that belly wash?
Come on now. No use bucking.
Doc, I warned you. No, I said no.
Oh. This makes the third time I've had to mop up today.
Well, you promised me real fixin'.
Even if we could get you a buffalo steak, you couldn't eat it?
Well, you try me. You just get me a buffalo rump, and I'll show you. Anyway, this is a lot of dang nonsense. Well, I could get up right now. I'm a-going to.
Kit, stop that. Lie down now.
I'm a-going to. Holy cow.
There. You see?
Ain't that awful how your bones give out? Hey, Doc, I'm not really bad off.
Well, you must take it easy.
Now, who could that be?
You lie quiet now. What is it, sir?
This where Kit Carson hangs out?
Jim Bridges. Why, you ornery, flea-bitten son of a gunshot coyote.
Still the same old loudmouth, gray-backed Apache he always was.
Doc, this is Jim Bridges.
Oh, how do you do?
He's the best scout whatever took a wagon train through engineers.
I reckon that was you, Kit.
First year I come out west, he learnt me everything I know.
Yeah, and second year he was learning me.
Still the same old liar. You sure look comical in your store clothes, Jim.
Well, Mrs. Bridgers was sot on him. I brung you a little present.
Why, you old... Jim. Buffalo. Doc, look here. Buffalo. Yippee.
Now, see here, Kit.
I feel better already. They get this steak on the fire, Doc. Now, don't argue. Jim, he's been feeding me on gruel.
No.
Sure as shooting. Gruel.
Why, it's enough to kill you.
You hear that, Doc?
All right. I know when I'm licked. Keep those covers on him, Mr. Bridges. I'll see about the steak.
And a cup of hot coffee. Good and strong.
Watch him now.
Watch you. You bet I will. You're a sight for sore eyes, Kit. And mine been real sore lately.
Well, Jim, it kind of looks like we're falling apart.
Folks up the mountain says you was ailing, Kit. You ain't really bad sick, eh?
Nah. Yeah, Jim, that doc's itching old granny. He puts me to bed for a pain in my craw.
Well, I sure am relieved. Pokey-nosed doc along the trail tells me I got to do something quick about my eyes.
I'm warning you, Jim. Don't let no doc get hold of you the way they done me.
Well, I figured to pick up some stored glasses.
Why, you could spot a black foot in the dark. What's the matter with your eyes?
Reckon I got to reading too much.
Reading?
Well, I can read easy now. Been at her some time.
Oh, you was always a whopping as big as liar.
Honest, kid. Traded a span of mules up to the Oregon for a volume of Shakespeare.
What's that? Liquor?
It's a book. Poetry.
And you could read her?
I hired a young fellow to learn me for $40 a month.
Now, listen, Jim, you don't expect me to believe you.
Well, I can't prove it. I ain't got the book with me, kid. But I can say some of it off pretty good.
You can? Well, far away.
Let me see. tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow moves on with petty pace from day to day, and all our yesterdays but light the way of fools to dusty death. Out, brief candle, life's but a moving shadow. A moving shadow. Heck, kid, that's all I know.
Life's just a moving shadow. Pretty good. Hey, we'd have laughed, Jim, if in the old days we'd have thought we'd be sitting around like this, all crockety and old and ailing. It's been like a dream to us, like them days is now.
Well, Kit, here's something you won't throw on the floor.
Say, now, that's a smell we're smelling.
Yes, sir. Guess anyone's lucky to get buffalo steak these days.
This'll put life into me. See, now, if you boys had just moved me off on this bed onto them buffalo robes on the floor there, I'd feel natural once again.
Why, sure, kid. Always feel mighty uncomfortable in a bed myself.
Well, all right, if it's going to be a party. Come on, Bridges. Get over on the other side there.
Sure, Doc.
Hang on, Kit.
Yep.
Easy now. Oh, easy.
There you are.
Sorry, Jim, for bellowing like a winged calf.
There we are.
That's something like it.
Here's your plate, Kit.
Here, squat down, Jim.
And here's yours, Mr. Bridges.
Sure is a fine steak. Real grub. Jim, doesn't it remind you of Rendezvous?
What is this rendezvous?
Doc, you mean to say you never heard of it?
I'm afraid not. Where was it?
Well, there's a place where us trappers used to meet up at every summer to sell our skins.
Yeah, like the old Green River.
Yeah, that got to be the real rendezvous. The traders could get in easy to buy there, and the Indians to trade their buffalo hides for guns and sugar.
Fine, friendly, raring-to-go sort of place, weren't it, kid?
Yeah, before the skunks got in and caused the beaver slump.
Yeah, you see, Doc, the
Shut
skunks
up,
came in...
Jim. Quit your lying. Doc, I was talking about human skunks. Greenhorns from the settlements. Yes, sir. They set us right on the rocks because they had to be stylish.
Stylish?
Dressed up, fashionable. Like Jim here in his store clothes.
Well, I'm sorry, Kit. You'll have to be a little plainer.
Well, I'll tell you the whole story. I guess I ate too fast. Anyway, back when Jim and me was up and coming, we trekked into Rendezvous at Green River with a friend of ours named Bent. We was feeling mighty high with all our trapping finished and nothing to do but to sit around lazy-like and wait to sell our pelts. Used to get our gullets full of bison and lay there listening to the lap of the river and the wind and the singing afar off up to other camp. Remember, Jim?
I remember.
Golly, if Doc here was only bent, and at their fire, a campfire, cracking up high, I could almost think that we was back again. I could almost hear the river and the wind and the singing along the old trail.
Hey, kid. What's that the boys are singing up the river?
That's Colorado Trail, sure enough.
Eyes like the morning star, cheeks like a rose. My gal's a pretty gal, gosh almighty knows. We body little rains, wail, winds wail, all along the Colorado. Beaver's tails is in the pot, Beaver's price has rose. We'll be rich as crazes yet, gosh almighty knows.
Reckon we will be, Ben?
What, kid?
Rich as crazy. If Beaver keeps on going the way she has been going.
Well, she'll keep on all right.
Anybody couldn't ask a better life than trapping with a beaver plumb falling into traps.
Yeah, sitting out like this, gazing up at the stars.
You reckon there's folks on them stars, Jim?
Wouldn't put it past them.
It's the only life, this. I reckon I'd like about 100 years of it. Listen to that wild loon's crying. Makes my skin creep.
Mournful like, ain't it? Like somebody somewhere dying.
You hear that? There's wagons coming down the trail.
More beaver pelts are coming in, I guess.
Wonder how much she'll fetch this year.
You reckon we'll have word in a few days?
Should. Hack train's due from St. Louis, according to Antoine.
Rumors around the blues will fetch $5 each.
$5?
Oh, 4 maybe. 4 would be a darn good price.
Yeah, more like 4.
I heard 5.
Jim.
Sounds as if them wagons was crossing over.
Hello there. Who's in Catford?
Sir William.
Hola! It's me, Ben.
It's old man. It's really you.
Sure is. Bring your wagons and come on over.
Directly, my dear fellow. Directly.
Well, just what is that?
Sir William Stewart.
Any fear to be out after dark with that voice?
I hear him today, talking clear down the post.
Never knew the human voice that sounds so silly.
Do you think he sounds funny, Jim? Where do you clap your eyes on them check pants?
The Britishers always get themselves up scandalous, but they're real good shots.
This one pulled in with the dirtiest wagon train you ever seen. A whole outfit of silver knights and forts. Ben, he just can't be a good shot.
Now, boys, Sir William's all right.
You never make me believe it. You know, if he comes in here with them pants, I'll have to take to the woods or bust right out laughing in his face.
Now, listen to me. Rocky Mountain Fur Company needs back.
Why, we couldn't take him in, not with that voice.
Want the American company to get him? Now, here he is, boys. Remember, there's different ways of doing things outside. Be decent.
Whoa there. This old chap. If this isn't fortunate, fancy my finding you.
Gosh, shut up. Come right into camp, Sir William, and sit.
Well, this is delightful. Jolly good fun.
Now, I want you to meet the boys. This is Jim Bridges, sir. Don't look like much, but he's a darn good guy.
Delighted. My dear chap, you're choking.
Yeah. Guess I swallowed my jaw.
And this here's Kit Carson, best beaver trapper in the West.
Indeed, sir. I've heard your praises sung at the first.
He sure brings in the blues.
Blues?
Skins, beaver skins, pelts.
Quite. About how many of these blues did you get this season?
Might over 600.
Really? That's quite extraordinary, you know.
Yep. Been cleaning up, Sir William. I want you to really consider the Rocky Mountain Fur Company. You couldn't do better than come in with us now.
Think so, Bent?
I know so. Every year there's been more and more demand for beaver. Every year prices have shot up. Antoine's waiting right now for this summer's price. It'll be at least $4 or I'll eat my hand.
I don't know, Ben. I don't know. It's always wise to look out for a slump.
There can't be no slump as long as folks wear hats.
Beaver hats? No.
What else?
Beaver hats have been the mode, yes.
Mode?
Yes, a style, trend. What becomes fashionable.
Fashionable?
What everyone takes to wearing, sir.
What else can folks wear but hats?
I've just returned from abroad. And, my dear sirs, in the capitals of Europe, as in London and in your own New York, the trend of fashion is toward silk hats. High silk hats.
Silk hats? Now, what in tarnation are silk hats?
Well, they ain't taking the bonnets like the gowns make out of silk.
Kindly hand me down that box off the top of the wagon there.
This here one?
That's it.
That's sure a fancy pasteboard box.
Well, darn if she ain't a round box. Well, what next?
This, gentlemen, is the high silk hat.
Say, they ain't wearing things like that.
Not on the head.
Why, they couldn't. They just couldn't.
Try it on, Mr. Carson.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'll give it a try. Here goes.
I'm afraid it isn't quite your style.
Kid, if you could see yourself, you look like a woodchuck with a mug. Scare the engines blue.
Well, here, let me see it on you.
Get away from me.
Come on, I'll cram it down your throat. Oh, no, so William. Them do some mighty queer things, but they never take to them. Yeah, you almost had a scare for a minute.
Somebody's sure to hurry.
He's coming this way, too. It's Antoine.
News must have come.
Antoine, this way.
This way, Antoine.
Hey, Antoine. What's the word? What's the news? Yeah, what word, Antoine?
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir.
Antoine, tell us. What news?
There's a nice fire. Phew. The wind, she's up tonight.
Antoine, what's the price of beef?
How much?
Well, the price, I'm afraid she'd be one shot.
You mean there's bad news?
Ain't beaver fetching 5 a blue?
No.
Well, it's 4 then?
That's right, ain't it? 4.
Man, no.
You don't mean she's back to 3?
No. Monsieur, you must not be mad with Antoine. I do not make the price.
Then
It ain't what Sir William's been telling us. Them hats. No. Out with it, you before I rip you.
Monsieur. Attendez. $6 a pew, monsieur. $6 a pew.
William, there's the old silk hat for you. Leave it skyrocket, and I will be rich. We'll be rich.
Beaver's tail is in the pond. Beaver's price has grown. We'll be rich and famous yet. I'm a mighty
Yeah, Doc. The camp sure busted wide open. Everybody was riding back and forth and drinking everybody else's grog and guns firing off and old Ned popping generally. Them were the days, Jim.
Them were the days.
I had a laugh at Sir William's face. Almost bowled out his eyes when he heard the price.
Did he go in with you boys?
No, he just went along hunting and fishing. I didn't see him again for 3-4 years. And that was at Rendezvous again. I drove up all the trapping for Bent and the boys. Drapped them mules. I hided them, and I sung to them.
Well, I reckon they'd just as soon take the hiding as the way you were singing when I run into you there.
Get along, ye dratted mule. Beaver's prices rose. We'll be rich as priestess yet. Gosh almighty knows.
Jim, you old coyote, where'd you come from?
Up Yellowstone. Where's Ben?
He's back to the fort. The trouble with the engine setup. I've run all the flues. I drove them pesky mules myself.
Beaver still running good down that country?
About everyone stuck to trapping, but the beavers themselves.
Same way up north.
What's the prices?
Ain't found out yet.
I'm driving the beast down to Antoine's. Right along.
Up to Hudson Bay, say price is dropping.
I reckon we'll only get about $4 a flu.
Reckon.
Oh, well, it's something anyways to be back at Green River.
There, strike you, kid. Rendezvous changing.
Well, a lot of new faces, all right.
Hi there, Jim Bridget.
Who's that long-tailed, sick-looking buzzard?
It's the professor. Howdy, Professor.
Professor?
Aiming to start a learning the engines, how to read, he tells me.
Oh, ain't they having enough trouble with engines?
Hello over there. Carson, Bridget, my dear Jim.
Sir William, you old fish-toting dude. Show I'm glad to see you.
Right along, Sir William. We're heading for the post.
Thank you, I will.
So why ain't you wearing your silk hat? You didn't get very far with them things, did you? Turn my eye, if ain't two of them right across the road. Hey, stovepipes. Why you dudes think you're going?
Kid, government officials in here with Judge Crawford.
The judge at Rendezvous?
Yes, he's out from Washington on a surveying project.
That darn government will ruin this country yet. Well, there. Look there, will you? That crowd around Antoine's.
Rice on Beaver must have come through from St. Louis.
Probably Crawford's making another speech.
Come on. Let's fly up these here mules and find out what's wrong.
Gentlemen, if I may have your attention.
Jim, he's wearing one of them silk hats.
Gentlemen, the United States government needs you in the survey of this territory. You and you alone are familiar with this territory. Familiar with its snowy, ice-clad peaks. Familiar with its densely wooded wilderness. Familiar with its birds and with its beasts.
Did you ever get familiar with a grizzly?
You may laugh, my friend. You may seek to minimize your efforts, but in the East, their importance is fully realized. We doff our hats to your courage. I doff my hat.
And what a hat!
In opening up the survey, we need guides and scouts for the expedition under Lieutenant Fremont. I ask you in the name of the United States to offer yourselves in these capacities. Come, hold me the first. Kit Carson, your man. Kit Carson, will you come forward and be an example to your fellow countrymen?
Judge, if I rightly understand, this here survey's aimed to map the country for a lot of greenhorns to come traipsing in. Well, I'm again that. What's more, I'm too busy trapping beaver to go trail breaking for a lot of soldiers.
Let me tell you, gentlemen, that the beaver is merely an incident in the progress of a nation's growth.
Maybe, but it's keeping us in victuals and powder. Say, speaking of beaver, boys, it's a price on blues come in from St. Louis.
Carry your word.
Where's Antoine?
Don't ask me to swear. Gentlemen, if I may be allowed to continue. Civilization will bring you...
Hold up, Judge. Let him through.
Monsieur!
What's the price?
Oh, the world has just arrived.
Well, we got a heap of trap in here. How much, Antoine?
Oh, monsieur, she's terrible.
Prices is down? How much, Antoine?
Monsieur, I have the authority of my company to pay for the beaver only $1 a proof.
$1? Crazy little kid. Wait a minute, boys. Say that again, Antoine.
Mon Dieu, it is no joke. I tell you, the price is $1.
Come on, no. Beaver won't pay for trapping.
But she won't pay for selling, monsieur.
Well, Judge, you've been talking about what the East can do for us. The beaver's been getting scarcer every year. How can the prices go down?
Well, my dear sir, this is a matter of commerce.
You mean to say that we got to let them lazy greenhorns in St. Louis sit there and fix the prices to starve us to death? No. We've had enough of all of you that sits back east and grabs our profit. Now, listen, men, listen. They figure, that we'll come crawling to them with our packs. Us who bit the engines and sweated to find a beaver and froze ourselves in a river getting them in. Are you going to stand there and crouch out all that grayback dudes?
Gentlemen, as a representative of the government...
The government don't give a cotton.
I assure you, in the East, we have your interests at heart.
You have you? Well, then what are you doing wearing that hat? Hat? Decent beaver ain't good enough for you, huh? You got to wear a silk hat. Boys, that's what's to blame for the beaver slump. That darn stovepipe atop his punkin' head. Yes, sir. Boys, it took a dude, and an English dude at that, to warn me that them hats on the greenhorn would ruin us. I laughed at him then. But, I ain't laughing now. It's time that we got on to ourselves, and it's time that we done something about it.
My dear sir, there isn't a thing in the world you can do to stop silk hats from being worn.
You're wrong, and I'll show you just how dead wrong you are. I'm going to stop you from wearing that high silk hat right now.
Wait, Carson, have you gone mad? The man's raving. Let me out of here. Let me out, I say.
No, you don't. You don't crawl out of here before I tell you what I aim for you to tell them settlement dudes. If they bring one of them ornery hats into this territory, our guns will be cocked and waiting for them. And we won't even only just sit and wait, neither. We'll scout the trails for them. We'll hunt the rivers for them. We'll trek all the way east into that there New York and into Washington and clear the whole blooming land of the pesky critters. Say, we'll make it so tough for them that folks will be glad to crawl back into good old Beaver to save our hides. Boys, listen, from now on, silk hats is plug hats. Plug them. All you see from now on up to Judgment Day.
I just had to show. If I get to Judgment Day, strike a mighty note.
What young fools we was, Jim.
Yeah, I reckon we were.
Much chance of plugging all the silk hats in the country as getting the Colorado to flow backwards. If they'd have told me at that time that in 2 years I'd be guiding Fremont clear through the Rockies for the government, well, there I was and liking it. We never know nothing final, do we?
Well, in fact, you plugged more of them hats than you did engines.
Yeah, guess I did. Feel kind of ashamed when I think about it.
I reckon, though, them silk hats really is what made you famous and a general in the Army. Instead of you staying an old moss-back trapper.
Well, the East certainly made a hero of you at the time of the Indian Wars.
That fame stuff don't mean nothing, Doc.
Right.
All the time them crowds was cheering me through the East, I was just aching to get back to one more trap on Green River.
And you'll get back there yet.
Maybe so, Jim. Maybe so. Maybe the happy hunting grounds will turn out to be Rendezvous. That'd be just about it, with Bent and the boys all waiting. You reckon that they'd blaze a trail for me, Jim?
Might even send out a scout, kid.
What was that? A moving shadow. I can see your shadow on the wall, Jim. That fire makes her hop about. Tired. That steak was fine. No more silk hats on Green River. Only just beaver. Rising.
Hear that cry? The wild loon's winging over. Plaintive, isn't it? Mournful like, but peaceful. Like somebody somewhere's dying. There she goes, Kit. Kit? Doc, look at him. Has he gone to sleep?
Listening to the Columbia Workshop production of A Rendezvous with Kit Carson, an original play for radio by Elaine Ryan. Kit Carson was played by Dean Jagger, and Jim Bridges was played by Ray Collins. Others in the cast include Ken Daigneault, Wilfred Lytell, Dennis Hoey, Marcel Journet, Neil O'Malley, and Bradley Barker. The music was arranged and conducted by Leith Stevens, and the entire production was under the direction of Brewster Morgan. Next week at the same time, the Columbia Workshop will present by special request Norman Corwin's original radio play in verse. They fly through the air with the greatest of ease. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.